I think I'm entitled. You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Hello, hello. Welcome to another edition, a super edition. We're going to get it in today, The Outsiders. I'm with my host, superstar Doc Cheatham. Doc, how's the things going?
It's going good. I woke up this morning. Happy New Year to everyone. Happy belated Martin Luther King Day.
Yes, happy belated Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And, of course, we have coming up February, Black History Month. And I believe this is going to be an exciting Black History Month because what's going to happen, we're going to start the month off with the first. It's been rescheduled, folk. We had some weather issues. It got a little snowy, icy. They got bad. So we had to reschedule the mayoral forum. All candidates who have filed have been invited, and Mayor Scott. And it's going to be February the 1st, the very first day of Black History Month. Same location, Friendship Baptist Church. Pastor Alvin Gwynn Sr., not Jr., he's Leadenhall. And 6 p.m., so, Doc, I hope we don't have any weather issues again, but we're going to put this out, let all the candidates know. I'm making the first announcement. I've gotten the okay from Pastor Gwynn. He gave us the thumbs up, the green light, so we're going to get it in. And I want to talk about what happened. I was delighted at what I saw happen. It was a football game. It was the Pittsburgh Steelers. They lost. They're out. Doc, I'm just going to, we know Ravens have #1 seed. We've got the Texans. But when you saw Pittsburgh lose, how did you feel? Did you see the game?
I saw the game all the way through it, but I wanted to cry because I wanted to play Pittsburgh because I love revenge. I'm an athlete just like you are, and nothing is better when someone beats you to have the opportunity to play them again because they were boasting that they beat our second string. So I wanted to smack them upside the head. So I wanted to play Pittsburgh, but I know the history, and that is when you seek revenge, dig two graves.
Yes. No, I mean, for me, okay, they lose, they're out, goodbye. Some people in my family, much to my chagrin, are Pittsburgh Steelers fans. They're from Philadelphia and Baltimore. I don't understand why you would be a Pittsburgh Steelers fan if you're from Philadelphia. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, you think they would go with the Eagles?
You would think. I mean, my family who lives in Philadelphia, huge Eagles fans, huge. But and I know they're hurting. But the folks that trek down to Baltimore, for whatever reason, I don't know, got goofy in the head or something. And they're Steelers fans. And, I mean, I go over to my uncle's house and everybody's wearing the Steelers stuff pretty much.
Baltimore has a large
it's ridiculous.
following of Pittsburgh Steelers, Boston Red Sox, and New York Yankees.
to the city's disgrace. It's disgraceful. But anyway,
well, I look at it this way, and I've had a lot of guys challenge me on it, but 99% of them are wrong. I said, what sport did you play? Did you play football or baseball? But 90% of them, they talk a good game, but they never played regulation football or baseball. But they root for the wrong team. Now, I understand why people in Baltimore, because I was a Steeler fan. When we did not have a football team, I was not going to the Redskins. So I was a Steeler fan. But when we got the Ravens, I left the Steelers alone. And I became a Raven fan.
Okay, that's logical. That makes sense. Unlike some other people who became Raiders fans, and I was a big 49ers fan, big Joe Montana, guy. But when we got our team, that was it. Goodbye. But anyway, the Ravens would have spanked Pittsburgh if we would have played them. But we do have the Texans, so we'll have to spank them. And I look forward to that game. And our special guest, because we got other subject matters we're going to talk about, of course. We do like to talk about our sports. But we have the consent decree issue, and we have what's going on with David Smith. And we're going to talk about, I covered Biden last week. I said I'm going to cover Trump. I'm covering what I see, what's out there in the news, what they're saying, and I'm covering it. So we'll be doing that. But right now I'm going to give her a call. Our special guest, former state senator Barbara Robinson, a real class lady. I mean, big time. And
love her dearly.
And when I'm giving her, I'm going to pull her up now. You know how we do on the Outsiders. So I'm pulling her number up now in my phone. I have some very important people in my phone. Really, really, I mean, serious contacts. Well, anyway, let me go ahead and hit it. Hopefully she is waiting for us. Former State Senator Barbara Robinson. We're going to talk about, I guess, the candidates, what they can do to improve their campaigns. And why am I did say I'm calling.
It's on the radio.
Hello.
You can have it on TV.
Hello.
Hello, this is Barbara Robinson.
Oh, I got her. Wow. Bingo mango. Hi, how you doing? How you doing, State Senator?
Absolutely great, absolutely great.
Well, we got you on the Outsiders. Doc Cheatham is the co-host. He's on the line as well.
Happy New Year. Love you dearly.
I got you.
Well, now that I've got you on the line, on the outside, again, everyone, State Senator Barbara Robinson was one of our first big-time guests back last year on the Outsiders, and I really appreciated her coming on the show. She gave a lot of insightful information, spoke about her books. But what's going on right now is we have a Baltimore City mayoral race. We've got about, 12 candidates now, Doc?
Yep.
Okay. And Democrats...
The dirty dozen.
The dirty... No, Lee Marvin's not in this flick. But State Senator, in regards to a campaign, because you've run a campaign, you've won, with the folks out there, and I'm excluding Brandon Slim Shady and Shifty Sheila. I'm excluding them. Okay. With the candidates that are out there now, what advice would you give to them? I guess this is my first question. What advice would you give to them to help them get to that finish line, at least in that top tier, at least do well, if not win?
You know, what I found, and I'm sad to say that it seems to me that campaigns are run on personality and not on skill.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the very skillful people are very knowledgeable people, but knowledgeable people don't get elected simply because they don't say the voters can't say that we parted with them or we had a drink with them or they are big folks on the golf course or whatever. It seems to be by, as I said, personality. And what's also troubling me actually is that we have these out-of-state political action committees to come in and to put money into the campaign of, and I know this to be true, to put money in the campaign corpus of the people that are running so that when they are elected, that the outside the political action committee can control their votes, control their votes. So, I mean, that's what I actually see now. But those that are running, a lot of them are getting behind Sheila. But those many years, and he's a really good, great businessman. But nobody knows about him.
Oh, Bob Wallace. Okay, yeah. Bob Wallace he's a good guy. When he announced, I did a video saying, hey, great, we've got somebody. We got static for some reason. Well, we've got somebody in the race who is an outsider, who's a businessman, who's smart, has integrity, who's intelligent. So I was celebrating that fact that you have somebody in the race, and then you had another person get in, and then you had another person get in. And I'm like, whoa, this is starting to stack up. In regards to running their campaign, I know you said that they should get out more and do that. What would you advise them to do as far as getting out more? Who should they talk to? Who should they meet with?
The people in the community, because that's who's voting for them. They should get get known by the community leaders, really, because that's who will vote them. You know, and they spend so much time rather than spending time. Say you're trying to run a race in the 41st district, just for an argument's sake. But you spend time going out and pleasing people in the 40th and the 25th and all these other districts. But those are not the people who can vote for you. Yes. You know, the people, and they also, you know, saying, what is it? Don't vote. I don't remember. But what I'm saying is that they got to get out and get known by the people who vote for them. Okay,
so the voting blocks, the community leaders, people out there who are community association presidents, get in front of them to let them know what they want to do for their community as mayor. And what I advise, because I've spoken to the candidates, and there's a rumor going around that I'll squash it again. There's a rumor going around that I'm favoring one candidate, and that candidate is Bob Wallace. That's not true. The candidates, I've given several candidates advice, and I actually told them, if you need any advice, I'll be more than happy as a former campaign advisor to help you. So I want to squash that rumor. And you know, State Senator, how rumors go around. When you were running for office, things were going out, rumors that people were putting out about you and taking down your campaign signs. What do you advise the folks who are running in regards to campaign signs? Should they put a lot of them out? How should they handle that?
You know, when you are running a race and you put your campaign signs up, if your signs are being torn down, that means that you're doing what it is that you need to do in the neighborhood. You know, if you get out there, you know, what I found is that the people who vote are not necessarily all the people who go to the community organizations. You find a good 10 or 15 will go every month, but that's not what you need to vote. So get out there and get known, just not in the community. And that was one of the things, my campaign signs were being torn down by the person that I was running against, that you are on great ground when they start getting shaky. You know, you attend organizations like churches. We went to over 60,000 churches in 1 year. You know, just get out there and get your faith known. But once you're, you know, the candidate that's running against you, that shady person, will get out there and tear your signs down, deface the signs, set out propaganda against you, that's saying that you are winning. If you got a guts to get out there and fight, you know, but if you like me, by the time they were tearing my signs down, it was time for me to You know, I had something else that I wanted to do, but what really aggravated me is that I wanted to get back to finish two bills, actually 2 bills that I had put in, and nobody had courage enough to get in on track for bill yet. And I hope I answered what said questions.
No. See, because the reason why I'm asking you this is because you have folks who I believe who are in the race, who filed, and I believe through Reuven Araja is going to be filing soon as well. He has an exploratory committee. And you have folks that are in the race that, as far as I'm concerned, are head and shoulders above Brandon and Sheila as candidates and as people. So I want them to get out there. We're having a mayoral forum where we've invited all the candidates. So February the 1st at Friendship Baptist Church at 6 p.m., Thursday, February the 1st. The candidates are going to be there, and we've invited all of them so that the people can hear what they have to say instead of this, what's going on with the media, they're being blackballed. If you were running today, I'm just going to use a hypothetical, state senator. If you were running today and you were in a situation where the media was blackballing you, they weren't giving you equal time, which is what Fox 45 is doing. They have 2 complaints filed. I believe some others are coming. What would you do as a candidate if you were being blackballed by the media to get your message out?
Go to any opening that you can. Just don't stick with your community because a lot of people that vote, there's others live in your community or there's sisters live in your community. Or when you go to an organization, the people who attend those organizations are not necessarily the people who don't live in your community. You know, what I'm saying is that if you go to a church organization, that might not be in your district.
Go to the churches, okay.
But some of the people who attend that organization or in that church live in your district. You know, so doing everything that's in your district. Because a lot of people that vote who live in your district are attending organizations or events outside of their district. That's number one. But number two, I really believe that you can get on Fox if you think that Fox is giving you a bad time, then find a way for you to get on Fox. So challenge them.
Well, they've been doing that. I mean, they've got two of the candidates have filed complaints with the FCC, and from what they're telling me is that they've been calling Fox, they've emailed Fox, they've communicated with Fox to get equal time, because if the time is equal, if you add up all the time Sheila's been on Fox 45, and you add it up, you go through the archives and add that is a lot of time. That's a tremendous amount of time. And so for things to be equal, they're going to have to give each candidate, specifically the candidates seeking the time, you have to go after it. They're going to have to give them a lot of airtime. And David Smith just purchased Baltimore Sun, and that's another situation we're going to talk about. So you're saying they should get out, go to churches, go to organizations, get out of their district. Don't stay in your district. Don't stay in your lane. And meet with people and get your message out so that the churches especially, I mean, hit the churches hard. But here's another question I have, because I keep hearing people saying, I've heard this several times, and I'm speaking specifically about the so-called leader. We don't even know if Sheila's leading in the polls, because the last poll was October, so that thing is old and dead. They keep using those numbers. But here's the thing. Marion Barry, DC Mayor Marion Barry, they're trying to compare Sheila's situation to Marion Barry, and I said, wait a second. Marion Barry, that was a private thing. That was he wasn't misusing or misabusing or embezzling or taking funds and of that nature with the government. It was a personal thing. It had to do with drugs, and that was personal. And the people of D.C. understood that and forgave him. So what do you think of that situation where people are comparing Sheila's situation and forgiving her with Marion Barry?
Well, look at what Sheila, it wasn't Sheila that Sheila actually took anything to pad her house or to buy a new coat. He didn't give the dues with the money or the gift.
Ron Lipscomb, yeah, the contractor.
He didn't give those to her own aggrandizement, her own self.
Mm-hmm.
Gave it to somebody else. He did not give it to the people.
No, she didn't give it to the people.
Who they were supposed to go to, but she didn't give them to the people.
Well, she went to Toys R Us and a bunch of other places, and she's making all kinds of. She's got a big fat salary, and she's 12 indictments and so on. But Marion Barry, and this is what I said. There's no comparison to Marion Barry because it was a personal situation. It wasn't him misusing funds, embezzling, and 12 indictments. Got a lot of feedback. What's going on?
What Sheila has done, does that equate? You never run again. There are people out there that I think that are better, that I would vote for, that are better than Sheila, and I'm going to come out and say yes. But Sheila is not as bad as people portray her to be. Because when I was running, when I would hit the ground out there and attend organizations, I would see Sheila. Sheila would be out there being getting into the community. What's necessary in the community. Sometimes like people would call me and ask for a tree to be removed or a garbage can or something not to be here. As a state senator or state delegate, that was not my responsibility. But not one time did my office, that's not my responsibility. I would find out where that person was supposed to go and come back and get that information to the people that need it. And that's what some of the candidates out there need to do, is to get out there and provide the service to the people.
Well,
one thing, but also knock on doors.
Knock on doors. Mm-hmm.
Knock on doors. That really got me over. But I did not knock on doors like I should have as a land senator, because it was time for me to retire. I felt, at the age that I was, I wanted to do more. I had some books I wanted to finish. I wanted to publish at least 10 more books. I wanted to finish my PhD in Morgan State University that I'm doing. I wanted to travel. There was so much more things that I wanted to do for my age.
Well, Doc, do you have any questions for State Senator Roberts?
I most surely do. Juan, thank you so much for being on. And I know the experience of having someone to face and tear your signs down. Mr. Politics, Hassan Giordano, got caught. Donnie Glover and C.D. Witherspoon tearing down my campaign signs. I know the experience. You said something, Senator, but I want to paraphrase it, that the candidates for mayor need to get out to the community. I want to leave out the community and say the fact that yesterday was a filing report, and other than 3 of them, to my knowledge, none of them filed any reports, showed any money, showed that they have a campaign other than themselves talking. And this is Dr. Cheatham saying this. The majority of you that are running for mayor, you haven't filed, you haven't made any money, you need to step out the damn race. You need to step out. You're not doing anything. You can't get elected by just talking.
Right. Right.
Well, this is what I think. You're right. You got to do more than just talking. You got to raise. You got to have some money to do something, to put out flyers, get ads out, radio ads, etc., and have a team of people to do what needs to be done to win a race. But I will say this much, and I'm gonna make this perfectly clear to Brandon and Sheila. I hope that each candidate who's running, and anyone new coming in, like a Thuru, I hope they run a very good campaign. I'm going to give them advice if they ask it from me, not just one person, not just one candidate, and I'm going to give them advice, and I want them to go out there, and I want to kick some butt and stop playing around. And Doc, you're right. Just talking and no, you got to get out there. And State Senator Barbara Robinson, what you said is right. You have to get out there and you got to do more than what you've been doing. That's a fact. Because Sheila and Brandon, Sheila's a national embarrassment. Could you read the newspapers and Newsweek and Time Magazine and all the news and ABC, NBC, and she gets elected again, the embarrassment this city's going to have? You think Dave Chappelle had jokes before? Cat Williams is going to have jokes. The other comedians are going to have jokes. Okay, so let's get out here and run better campaigns. And State Senator Robinson, thanks for being our guest. I really appreciate this.
I appreciate you.
and
doing what you're doing. And Doc, you know, I'm always loving you. I'm always loving you.
I love you more than nothing you can do about it.
But thanks again, State Senator Barbara Robinson. It's been a pleasure.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you.
Okay.
Pleasure's all ours.
Take care.
Okay.
Great lady. Great lady.
Wow. Really good advice. I mean, what's going on with this race?
They got to get out here in the street.
You got to get it done.
Put up posters. But you just can't talk your way into the position of mayor. You know, why don't you think about running for the city council or House of Delegates or Central Committee? Why are you going to go all the way to the top? It's like most things. You start at the bottom and you go up. Why are some of y'all thinking you can start at the top, having done nothing in the community? You don't even know the communities you're running in. And I'm talking to you candidates for mayor.
And you are.
Why are you running? You don't even know the city.
And Brandon, why are you running? Why are you mayor to begin with? Because first of all, you're backstabbing.
I was sitting with Brandon and Sheila. The conditions that we are in and have been in for 10, 12, 14 years, you're to blame for we're in the position that we're in. Exactly.
Exactly.
We're in because of y'all.
Because of you two clowns. So why are you want to be mayor again, Brandon? And I'm going to be dealing with you, Ace, coming up. Coming up on this program, I'm going to be dealing with you and the things that you said and what's going on. And Sheila, oh my Lord, have mercy. Seriously. You're gonna let the fox back into the chicken coop? That woman should be nowhere near any of these funds and monies that come into Baltimore City as a mayor. Are you crazy? Seriously? Seriously. Really? So we got a bunch of folks, as far as Doc and I are concerned, should not even be running. And that includes the mayor, who shouldn't be mayor. And that includes you, Sheila the Shoe, Shifty Sheila, Sellout Sheila. And we're going to get to this stuff later. But speaking of Brandon, okay, and I'm going to play it. The consent decree, the joke, the clowns. Frank's going to help me out on this. Frank Sinatra's going to help me out on this. So hold on a second, Doc. Let me go ahead and cue this up. And I'm going to play it. Here we go, folks.
Oh, blue eyes.
I know firsthand there's still much more work to be done, but we remain steadfast in our commitment to fully comply with the necessary reforms of the consent decree and to provide our residents with the best police department that they want and most importantly deserve. Thank you for your time, and I will now turn it over to Mayor Brandon M. Scott.
Senator Clown. Come on, Clown.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Mr. Commissioner, and thank you all for being here. I want to start off by saying that this is not just a crucial, but a significant step in the right direction for BPD as we work towards full compliance with the consent decree. Since I took office, the department has continued to make significant strides in the right direction. And as of December of 23, 25% of all paragraphs of the consent decree have been given a rating as being...
Stop, I gotta interrupt Frank. Oh my goodness, the lies. They just keep going on. The lies. 25%, did you hear that, Doc? He said 25% of the decree has been fulfilled. I've got the consent decree right here, folks. I'm looking right at it. And I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points in the consent decree to be fulfilled.
You got it. That's right. That's what folks need to know. There are 12 points.
12 points. I've got them right here. Let me put it up to the camera. My YouTube folks can see. I'm going to stick it right there so you can see consent decree. So I'm just not talking out the side of my head. And the last time I checked with basic math, because I've done a lot of it, being in the mortgage industry for so many years and finance industry, 2 out of 12, Doc, that's 16.66%. That's not 25%. Here we go with these lies again. Here we go again with Brandon and the numbers and the lies. 15%. I will reduce homicide in my first year. Aim to reduce homicide by 15% each year of my term. Getting the homicide rate below 300 my first year. Lie. No, you didn't. So if it's 15% every year, the number shouldn't have been any higher than 200 homicides in 2023. Well, 206. You were way off. He's a complete unmitigated failure. This consent decree was entered April the 7th, 2017. Ooh, that's almost 7 years, Doc. It took you 7 years.
I have found, I don't know what it would be in their language, but I found a document with the group that's overseeing compliance of the consent decree, and I lodged a complaint on behalf of Matthew Henson, and that is dealing with one of the issues, and this is one of the issues that has not been reviewed yet, and that is the relationship that the police department who had the consent decree because of 3 constitutional amendments that they violated. And one of the ones that's in the 12 listing is the relationship with the community. And I filed a complaint because for the Western District, you have failed us so far as reducing the homicides because our homicides went up last year. You have failed us for 2 months. Your phone lines were not working. You have failed us because you changed the date for community meetings and did not get our approval or consent. And we're saying, yes, you may have passed those 2 areas, but they're only 2 out of 12. But one of the ones dealing with community outreach and uplift, you have sorely failed. And I'm saying it's not ironic that they have not responded to me because this is a basic consent decree movement that they're saying they're only looking at certain issues. I'm bringing up the issue with community outreach that you have failed. You have failed sorely, starting with the Western District.
And I don't know how do people let them get away with this and not come out and say, because 83% of the consent decree that was entered April the 7th, 2017, almost 7 years ago, 83% has not been fulfilled. So for these clowns to come out and say, "Hey, I'm going to pat myself on the back. Look at the great job I'm doing, people. We haven't fulfilled 83% of the consent decree." But we're going to pat ourselves on the back, lie to you, tell you it's 25% when it's a little over 16. And this is, how do people put up with this crap? And why hasn't the media called them out? Why? Why not? Why haven't you called Slim Shady out on this and busted his hindparts for this joke of a press conference when you haven't fulfilled 83% of a decree in almost 7 years, and he's been there, what, 3 of the years? So you got to go, clown. No, that's not send in the clowns, Frank. It's kick out the clowns. Kick out the clowns. Kick out the clowns. Kick him out, because he's a clown. You got another clown wants to get back in. A daggone circus, Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus is back. It's in Baltimore. And we're specializing, we've got a clown show. Doc, how do you think this thing is going to come out with this consent decree? Do you think they're ever going to fulfill it?
I do not think. I really don't.
So what are you prepared to do? What are the citizens of Baltimore prepared to do about it? What's going to happen? Hello, Doc.
Yes, sir.
What's going to happen? You have a consent decree.
I think things are only going to get worse. Things are only going to get worse. And I'm saying 80% of our elected officials need to be voted out of office, and we need more young people coming to run for office, but just don't run. Get some money, pass some flyers out, put some posters up. You can't get in the office by talking to it.
I agree. As far as this consent decree is concerned, it looks like somebody needs to put a pair of the big boy pants on, stop jacking around, and take this thing to court, because they're not fulfilling it. I've never seen anything like this.
Somebody that's being paid.
I've never seen.
We got some folks being paid, and they're being paid to cover themselves, saying that they are in compliance with making the changes that are needed in the consent decree filing. Yes, 2 of the issues have been addressed,
2,
but the other 10 have not. And we're saying we got folks that are being paid to do the big cover-up. And I'm saying the one issue I am exposing, they have not done anything for the community.
Well, something needs to be done about it. And as long as you people in Baltimore City, you keep taking this crap from Brandon and from these people, and they're not following the decree, you need to take it to another, you need to take it up a couple of notches to another level and stop letting these people rip away your civil rights.
Sean, you asked the right question. Sean Connery said it in the Touchables. What are you prepared to do, Baltimore City? You can't keep going along to get along. The police department has been a failure for 47 years. You heard it coming from Doc Cheatham. They've been a failure for 47 years. And now they're trying to pay people to do a cover-up that they have not been in compliance after 7 years. The consent started 7 years ago. And you mean to tell me only 2 out of 12 have been addressed in 7 years? What the hell y'all been doing?
Nothing. They have been doing nothing because they don't care about the citizens of this city. These people don't care. Getting up there with that smug look on Brandon's face, smug, arrogant look on his face. Oh, yes, we've completed 25%. No, you haven't. That's a lie. It's another lie. This guy does nothing but just spout lies. He's full of crap. It's another lie. That's all you can do because you're worthless. Okay, and another thing folks can do, you can go to the voting booth and you can, get rid of the crud. That's all I have to say. I'm going to end that. That's it.
Well, in my neighborhood, we got to register them because the majority of our folks in the Western District are not registered, but I am happy to say it looks like we will get an early voting site in the Western District. After 10 years after 10 years of discriminating against black people, you know, dark-skinned folks, I'm talking about Antonio Hayes, dark-skinned poor black people that you have neglected for 10 years.
That's what he's done. Pumpkinhead. Let me go ahead and do this. I'm going to play. I did a call-in, Doc, to your buddy Kim Klasick. I did a call-in.
How's my girlfriend doing?
She's doing good. She may be, I don't know, we're going to see. She might be co-moderating the event on February the 1st with me. So we're in negotiation. We're going to see what happens. That's going to be interesting.
I think I need to say something about the event to at least cover myself. One, I'm very glad that God gave me the vision to get the candidates together that were running for mayor and get all of them to come to one event. I take credit for that. Yes, I do. And my community takes credit because we were the organization that did it. But when I had two candidates that are running for mayor have disagreements with me because I counseled the candidates for them in light of a cold blue being declared by the health commissioner, by snow being predicted before the end of the event on Monday, and then you complain to me, candidates, about me counseling. I can't be a part of anything like that. You have disrespected me. So I'm saying, you know, I'm hoping that the candidates forum does well. But the fact that yesterday, 80% of you haven't even filed your reports. You made no money. You've done nothing but talk.
Well, I feel you on that in regards to people not respecting the fact that, because you and I talked about it. We said, okay, we were going to go through with the event, and then we said, nah, you know, the weather's it's too bad. So it's not going to happen. February the 1st is going to be the new date. And all the candidates are going to be asked again, invited. We're here trying to tell you all how to get your act together, okay? We're giving you constructive criticism. Take it. Learn from it. Learn from State Senator Barbara Robinson, who was our guest. Because I don't want these two knuckleheads. And don't get me wrong. I'm a professional. This is my show, The Outsiders, the podcast. But when it comes to moderating and doing my job, I'm a pro. I'm going to treat each candidate, that includes Brandon and Sheila, if they will arrive, just like everyone else. It's going to be a level playing field. I don't play favorites as a moderator. So my personal opinions of you are going to have nothing to do with my professional job, and that's to moderate. And that's how I do. That's how I roll. So I'm just letting...
And I hope I can say this on behalf of you and the show, that we want to express our condolences to the Patrick Henderson family. Mm-hmm. We did lose Patrick on Sunday. We will have a couple of shows, one on Sunday and then another on Monday, where we will give you information. Hopefully by then we will have the funeral arrangements, but we did lose Patrick Henderson, the godfather of praise and worship. He is the one who was the visionary for what we have in all of these churches now. Praise and worship came from Patrick Henderson. So we will be having some discussions. We are meeting this weekend to hopefully continue with his show that was so good. It was running for 14 years. 14 years. So we want to say condolences to the family and all of those that had love and admiration for Patrick Henderson.
Yes, I sent out my condolences on Facebook. Patrick Henderson, icon, music radio, and we're sorry to see that he has left us, but he has left us with, like Doc said, some very important, I'll just go ahead and say it. He is very important, monumental things that we now use, praise and worship in the church, as just the Doc just stated. And I didn't know him well, just met him a few times. I was supposed to go on the show. I was going to have him on my show, but the Lord saw fit to take him home. So condolences to the family. of Patrick Henderson, and he was something else. The little I met with him a few times and talked with him. The guy was something else, Doc. And I know you're hurting, and people are close to him, but we're going to continue on in his spirit, and I'm going to actually. This just popped into my head. I'm gonna the event on February the 1st. I'm gonna dedicate that to Patrick Henderson. How's that sound?
Oh, that is so kind, so very kind. He's deserving of it. He had an effect on 25, maybe 30 artists. We talk about #1 artists, Aretha Franklin and the Doobie Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
He had an effect on a lot of people. He wrote to a lot of them, and we are recommending that he get the Gospel Award that comes out once a year for being the founder of praise and worship. All of you churches that may be listening, you probably have praise and worship at your church, mosque, or synagogue. Well, that came from Patrick Henderson. He is the visionary for praise and worship. And the least we can do is recognize him for bringing that great concept to music.
And another condolence, I just got handed this. I guess I have to say this. This is very important. My grandfather, Pastor Joseph Brown, Preacher Brown, man of Bible Baptist Church, Grace Memorial Hour, Worldwide Ministry, White House Speaker, etc. His first son in the ministry, Reverend Pastor Purcell Edwards, his wife passed away, and I want to give condolences to the family and his daughter as well. So he's had that's rough. His daughter and his wife passed away. So I want condolences to the Edwards family as well. He would come to the church, man, a Bible Baptist. Great speaker, great voice. You think of my voices. People tell me this guy had a great voice in the ministry, preached the word, and condolences to the Edwards family as well. So I wanted to definitely put that out there. And I want to get back. No, not back. We brought him up earlier. David Smith, Baltimore Sun. I was on the Kim Klacik show, did a call-in, and I want to go over that and talk about this David Smith business. Okay, here we go.
Shake up tonight as the Baltimore Sun has now been sold to David Smith, executive chairman of Sinclair Broadcasting. The Sun reporting that deal also includes other papers, the Capital Gazette, Carroll County Times, and other papers and magazines in the area. Smith did not disclose how much he paid, but said the deal is independent of the broadcasting company, which does own nearly 200 stations across the U.S. The Sun, founded in 1837, Maryland's largest daily newspaper by circulation.
6680, the Baltimore Sun has been purchased by David Smith, who has Sinclair Broadcasting, which is Fox 45. I got Sean in Pikesville. Sean, you like to weigh in?
Yes, I definitely wanted to weigh in on this, Kim. In regards to the purchase by David Smith, Sinclair Broadcasting, what you said earlier about the Republicans and them actually getting a leg up because of this, why isn't David Smith supporting or at least giving time to the Republicans who are running for mayor of Baltimore City, and that's Donald Scoggins, and I believe Michael Moore has thrown his hat in as well as Republican candidates. Why isn't David Smith giving them support? Because he's sure supporting a Democrat in the name of Sheila Dixon. Why don't people ask that question?
Well, that's a good question. I would only assume, and Sean, I can't speak for the Smith family, I would only assume that many people believe that only a Democrat could take home the win. And I would assume that they would just try to endorse or even support the less progressive of the bunch. But I again, that's just my opinion.
Okay, but I understand what you're saying with that. But if David Smith is true to who he is, and true to because of the Republicans, what they want to do, and the Democrats with the way they're doing things, which he doesn't agree with, and things are very bad with the Democrats recently, who have been in charge for the last several years, several decades. Why doesn't he still at least, you can ask, why doesn't he still at least give them equal time to Republicans, Donald Scoggins, and Michael Moore now, equal time for Sheila? That's the least he could do. no excuse.
Well, you know what, Sean, I think some of them do listen to the show. Hopefully they can hear you. I did see the one interview they had with Scoggins, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. I guess, you know what, Sean, I'm just excited that now that paper won't tear Republicans apart. You know what I mean? Like, for me, if I were a candidate, I would say, you know what, you don't have to support me, you don't have to do more for me. Just don't make up stories and lies and tear me down. You know what I mean?
I understand that. One thing that I asked David to do, I reached out to David. The only thing I asked him to do is to follow FCC regulations in this campaign and be fair and do what is the right thing. Because if he doesn't, he's showing that his integrity is not there as a media outlet and as a media conglomerate. And that's all I have to say.
Well, Sean, I appreciate you weighing in. I hope you have a great day.
Okay, thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Let me know. This Sean's got valid questions there. I wonder if they're going to still have an editorial board which, no, when I'm thinking opinion pieces in the Baltimore Sun, I'm thinking like you or I, writing an opinion piece and sending it over. I'm not thinking the editorial board at the Sun having an opinion piece and then endorsing candidates. I hope that comes to an end. Okay, it's swaying voters one way or the other, and I want voters to really take a look at all the candidates.
Exactly, I agree with Kim. The voters should take a look at all the candidates. A media conglomerate should not be backing one candidate and swaying voters by them backing one candidate. And she's correct. Doc, what do you think of that?
Well, I think without a doubt, we need to broad brush it because it is a broad brush issue. There are 3 other states as well that need to be chastised as well. Channel 2, Channel 11, Channel 13. We need to broad brush them all. But I would say this, I have a confession to make. And I feel kind of bad about it because Joe Madison would always say, a good Phi Beta Sigma man, there are no permanent friends, there are no permanent enemies. They're all permanent issues. And I was on the same side of the new owner of the Sun on an issue. I have to confess, that was Question King. But I am not on the same side with Fox 45 discriminating against all of the candidates other than 2. But I think we need to broad brush the whole issue. That there's questions, and I got to admit to another thing. Montel Williams is a member of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. We have maybe 10 national talk show hosts that belong to our organization. So we have the good, the bad, and the ugly. But I would say I got some real problems with the Sun being owned, even though I know it's legally done, that the Sinclair Broadcasting is not owned by him. He is the CEO. But I really got some serious problems with a TV station having such a major influence on a newspaper. And I'm not in love with the Sun either.
Well, with the front, I do have a subscription with the Baltimore Sun. The reason why I
do too.
But here's my reason. The reason why I have the subscription, which I'm going to cancel. The reason I had the subscription, as soon as getting ready to go, I'm going to cancel it, is because I like to go back in the archives and pull up stories for my show. And it's been very valuable in doing that to get information. But with David Smith, hey David, if you want to, let me explain to you all. Well, listen up, kids, because Uncle Sean's going to explain to you what's really going on. Okay, David Smith is backing Sheila Dixon. Now, Sheila Dixon's numbers are starting to drop. See, what they did is this. Campaign advisor, if I was in a hypothetical situation, if I was Sheila's campaign advisor, I never would have saturated the market so fast the way she did. Because what happens is this. Now listen up, everyone. I'm trying to teach you. Get your pen and papers out. Now what happens is when you saturate the market too fast, and everybody already knows you, and they know about your dirty deeds done dirt cheap, and they know about your dirty deeds, and then you saturate the market, what happens is you get a pop on your points. on the polls. You get a pop, and it goes up, and you peak. But you peak too early because you saturated the market. There's nothing you can do about it now. The damage is done. That's why I'm saying it. So you saturate the market, you peak, and then your numbers, they can do only one thing, and that's go down. That's the only thing they can do. Then you add some very powerful candidates getting into the race. And you add more candidates who are going to start chipping away at your lead because they got a target on you. You got a target on you because you're number one. So you saturated the market, and then you've got all this money now. And what are you going to do? You're going to saturate the market even more. People already know who you are. It's not like you have to go out and let people know who you are. They know who you are, and they know what you are. So go ahead and spend more money to try to convince people that, I'm Shirley Temple. I'm not going to do you wrong. Everything's going to be right this time around. I'm going to be good this time around because that's your theme. That's your theme.
Are you saying on the good ship lollipop?
Yeah, you got it. You picked that up, Doc. I'm going to be good this time on the good ship lollipop. I'm Sheila Dixon, and I'm going to be good. And that's where all your money's going. That's it. So her numbers are dropping. Now let me get back. I digress back to David. Now David sees this going on, and he's like, oh my goodness, we got to do something. Well, I can kill two birds with one stone. The son who pampers Brandon, I'll snatch that away from Brandon because they pamper him. And then I can help Sheila as well with having a son because their numbers are starting to drop. That's why they're using the old poll. Ooh. Numbers are dropping. So David makes this move. He makes a chess move. There are other chess moves coming up, David. To counter your chess move.
It's going to be interesting what the mayoral candidates, how they respond to the questions that's coming up
that's
on
going to be
the first day of Black History. But what they need to expose them collectively, because I think their responses are basically almost in agreement with each other. And that is that we're in the state that we're in because of Sheila and Brandon. Why would you vote for either one of them when we're in the mess that we're in? The education that we're in, the homicides and crime, the houses, the boarded up houses. Yes. We're in all this state because we've had two elected officials that probably between the two of them, they've been in office for about maybe 30, 40 years. Brandon and Sheila.
Yeah,
why
city
are we in the mess we're in? Because of incumbents.
Yeah, I agree. And here's a statement. This is from David Simon. He's the creator of The Wire. And this is what David had to say. He actually worked with the Sun. He says, quote, everyone who is within the sound of an honest Baltimore accent, it's actually a dialect, but needs to subscribe to the @Baltimore banner right effing now. Well, Dave, I'm canceling my Baltimore Sun subscription, and I'm pretty sure people are canceling as we speak. And as far as that goes, with David Smith and what he's doing, David, if you're going to do things right, you might as well, if you're going to do something like that in order to help Sheila by buying the Baltimore Sun, that rag. Now, if you're going to do something like that, why don't you do it right? Why don't you purchase the Baltimore Banner? Hell, you know what, Doc? If he's going to do, why don't you purchase WJZ? Hell, why don't we purchase WMAR?
Sean, I'm similar like you. I believe in doing a lot of reading and a lot of research. So yes, I confess that I had the Baltimore Sun, but I also confess that I had the Baltimore Banner. I also confess that I had the Brew. I also confess that I had the Afro. That's at least 4 papers. And I definitely get the black paper that we have that's being done by David Murphy, which is a free paper. I try to read as much as I can. So yes, I do have a subscription with 4, and I pay for it. But I believe information is power, and I want to say this as well, and that is Radio 1 Incorporated. We need you to reconsider what you are doing so far is getting political information out to the black community. I know about the candidates, and they're not paying for advertisement, but we got to do a little bit better. We don't need just to go to WBAL if we want information about what's happening in our black community. We need the 5 black radio shows to let us know what's going on, especially politically. So we need to reconsider Radio 1, what you're doing and not doing in getting information to our community about the candidates and what the issues are.
Well, Dave, you heard it. You heard the list of stations and list of papers. The Brew and the Banner, and what about the Baltimore Fish Bowl? Because why don't you buy all of them? I mean, if you're going to do it, if you're going to buy up papers in order to help Sheila, why don't you go all out, Dave? Why don't you go all out, Mr. Moneybags, since you just want to buy up things? Why don't you buy?
Hey, there's subscriptions for the Fish Bowl.
Hey, Dave, why don't you call up Fern Shen of the Baltimore Brew and ask Fern if she wants to sell? Why don't you do that, Dave? And this is what I think. What's the name of his? What is it? Atlas? Is that the restaurant umbrella that they have? Atlas? Yeah. They have restaurants, right?
I didn't go to that event there.
But okay, that's the name. And what I'm trying to get at is this: since your candidate did not respond and said that told a mutual friend of ours that she did not know, I'm talking about Sheila, that she didn't know about the event for January the 15th, Martin Luther King's birthday. She didn't know about it, and that she had no idea what was going on, okay, and she didn't get anything about it, and told a mutual friend, oh yeah, Sheila, let me tell you something, honey child, the people that you talk to, a lot of them, they're friends of mine too. And stuff gets back to me. And stuff gets back to me of a lot of things that go on that people think they're popping off the mouth in meetings, and they think that doesn't get back to me. And I tell you what, you sure did get 10 threads from Doc. I was on those threads about the event, about the mayoral forum. You did get and you got things from me as well, emails from myself as well about that event. And for you to be popping off that you didn't know about it, hey Dave, since your candidate's chicken, Dave, why don't you get a new entree on the menu? Call it Dave Smith's Chicken. Sheila Dixon special. Yeah, Dave Smith's Chicken. Because your candidate's chicken. You're scared. You're running because the numbers are dropping. And here's a hint. Here's a hint, boys and girls. Sheila's numbers, they're going to keep dropping. I'm going to do a Joe Biden, everybody. They're going to keep dropping. Sheila's numbers are going to keep dropping, Dave. So keep buying up papers. That's my Joe Biden. Now speaking...
You did pretty good on that.
Now speaking of Joe Biden, that's a segue into Trump. That was a perfect segue into Trump. I talked about Biden, did some clips on Biden. We're going to do some clips on Trump. Now, here we go. Now, this is the thing. This is what I see going on. So I do the clips based off of the momentum, based off of the energy, based off of what's going on out there with people and what they're saying. And I do the clips based off of what I see and what I pull up. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the clip. This is the first clip because of Trump, and it's interesting. He did take Iowa, 51%. Boy, he cleaned clocks in Iowa. So let me go ahead with the clip.
Yeah, boy, he whipped butt.
Okay, here we go.
You know what I'm saying? And believe that foolishness. But when I really just ask questions, say, hey man, I won't tell anybody. Just keep it a buck with me. Do you agree that things were a whole heck of a lot better from 16 to 20 than they were from 20 to 23? This was, when I was having these conversations during the holidays or whatever. And everybody that I talked to all said, yes, things were up to, all said, yes, things were a whole heck of a lot better. But
how's Joe Biden doing?
He's too old. Sorry. But everybody elected him, so that's y'all fault.
He sent me a line to people.
He's the worst president that we ever had.
Joe Biden, please go back to Delaware because New York City, you have no idea what we need.
He's a smart mother. He take you out to lunch and stick a fork up your ass right after. Who do you want to win the 2024 election, Joe Biden or Donald Trump?
Donald Trump. I want Donald Trump.
Let's go.
That happens to be me, in case you forget.
That's that guy.
He was in, it was no crime. Crime was down.
Uncle Donald. Okay.
Uncle Donald, I've never heard that one before. Okay.
That's a nice guy. Shut straight up and down like 6 o'clock. At least I know what I get when it comes to him.
Absolutely. I said the same thing.
I was more comfortable with Donald Trump in office.
I'm not voting for Joe Biden.
And you ain't black.
Oh, that's right.
And that's the other thing.
Everybody knows that when President Trump was in office, we were doing great. And people want America to be great again. And that's why President Trump will be the president again.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. You go on YouTube and you go check. You just put in Trump. That was in the, I believe, in the Bronx, New York. There were black folks and Latino folks. They were ripping. I couldn't play everything because they were tearing Biden another one, and it was Trump. It was Trump, 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 Trump. And Doc, what do you think about what's going on with it? Because that's what I'm pulling up in the community, in the black and Latino communities, with these people who are, I mean, they seem to be wanting Trump.
I will say this, and folks don't blame me for it. Sometimes I do things in the field of elections. I just read the data that I have, and I make predictions on that. I would say right now, if the election was here, we're not going to have good turnout from the black community because they have no reason to vote for Biden. And I would say if the election were right now, Trump will be your president.
Okay. Well, hey, wow! I didn't expect that from you, Doc. I thought you were on the Biden train.
I am a Biden fan, but I'm trying to call politics the way I read it. And the way I've been reading is that there is no real reason for black folks really to even come out to vote. You know, two of the top things that we had on our black wish list, Biden has not done. He has not done the John Lewis bill.
That's right.
He has not done the crime bill. Those were two of the major bills. And we're saying very carefully that what reason do black folks have to come out to vote? And I'm saying, other than saying that Trump is the reason, that can't be the only reason why you vote. What did your president do for you in the last 4 years? And I'm saying, sadly enough, there's not much we can put on our head and say this is what Biden did. I'm saying right now, if the election were today, you would have Donald Trump as your president again.
Wow, things might change, but I mean, I will win. What's going on?
I hope they do, but I'm calling it like the numbers that I'm getting.
Well, let me go. I have one more clip. I did 2 clips for Biden last week, so I did 2 clips for Trump. We're fair and balanced, and we're actually, you know, we're actually fair here, unlike other places that they only push one candidate, and they're a media outlet, and it's not propaganda, huh? That's legit. Here we go. There we go.
Just a couple talking points. It's official, guys. The Trump train has left the station. This was the first of what we're going to be seeing over the next few weeks, few months, Republican primaries. Trump's running away with this thing. Next up is New Hampshire. Nikki has a slight chance there, but with the back dropping out and endorsing and stumping for Trump, it's over. Ron's got no path to the presidency. It's over. His only shot was in Iowa. He's not winning New Hampshire, and he's certainly not winning what's third in South Carolina.
By the way, Trump didn't win Iowa.
He said Trump had a chance because he was excited, and America loves excitement. And Trump been saying, if Trump was on the news, they asked Trump about the leaks. Trump said the leaks are real, but the news is fake. I heard about the leaks on the news, sir. You are confusing me. That's like the police pull you over, you tell them the blunt ain't real, but the smoke is. Take your ass to real jail then. The president's supposed to think of something, then talk about it with the Senate and the Congress, pass a bill, and then do it. Sent off 50 missiles to Syria while he was in his bathroom with an Xbox One controller.
Yeah, that's Trump. He's a cowboy. That was Cat Williams on the comedy. But what I'm seeing, and people are seeing, I have folks telling me, these are the same people, the last presidential election, who are just, yee-haw! I'm Biden. We got Joe Biden coming in there. Joe Biden gonna come in there. He's the adult in the room. And Trump, he just tweets. And Trump this and that. Joe Biden thing's gonna be great. Oh my goodness. And these are the same people. They're like, I can't stand Joe Biden. I can't stand Joe Biden. Oh man, I hate to do it, but I'm voting for Trump. Same people. So I made the call last year on the Outsiders when we were with WMEG, and I said it. I said he won the first time, he lost the second. He's going to do a Grover Cleveland, and for you folks out there who don't know, Grover Cleveland, as a Democrat, he won, he lost, then he won. Now, Republican hasn't done it. Trump will make history to be the first Republican to do it. And I made the call last year because the writing was on the wall. Because Biden, the gas prices, food prices, period, your money, going out, the Afghanistan debacle. You get in and you cut, hey, stop us being oil independent. We want to be dependent. Let's run to Saudi Arabia with our hands out. And I can go on and on and on, and the dementia, not knowing where he is. I mean, on and on and on. It's an unmitigated disaster. And Trump will be president again. Doc, any last words?
I would say this: we need to look not only very closely on the black turnout, but there seemingly is a movement taking place in the Hispanic community, that the support that Biden received 4 years ago is not there this year. Biden and the vice president need to do some strong campaigning in the Hispanic community, but I would say if they do not deliver the two major bills that was on our agenda when both the president and the vice president ran, and last week she did address the issue about the John Lewis bill. It was reintroduced in September, and I'm saying very clearly, if neither one of those bills have any movement, we talk about the crime bill and the voting rights bill, you will see Biden go down.
Okay, well, there it is. Another outsider. That was a good one. Had a little static there when Senator Barbara Robinson was on, but that was a good one. Hope the candidates take our advice. The Mayoral Forum has been rescheduled for February 1st, the first day of Black History Month. Study your black history. There's a lot to learn out there. There's some inventions that took place. Did you know the mailbox was invented by a black guy? Did you put your mail in?
I would say this. Some of the major, if not the major inventions were done by black folks. And those inventions that were not done by black folks, y'all probably stole our damn ideas.
Well, I'm going to be talking about that on The Outsiders. We're going to be going over the inventions and, of course, the stoplight. That was a black guy, stoplight. But we're going to be going over the inventions and what black folks have contributed to our country during Black History Month. And again, we started off with a bang, the Mayoral Forum with the mayoral candidates. And Doc, thanks. Another good show, another great show.
Great show.
Okay, Doc, take care.
Take care. God bless.
Okay, and everyone, take care. God bless. And goodbye.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.